I made a book account because I'm reading more and I might as well make videos on it. This is my first video of 2026, so we might as well recap 2025, shall we? This is every single book that I read in the year of 2025. I hope you can guess how many that is. Not many. That's very much going to change ever since I moved. I'm now currently resignating in the United Kingdom, and I'm only doing school right now. I'm not working, so I have a lot more free time on my hands, so I can definitely read more often. I have a bookshelf, as you see behind me, so I'm definitely needing to fill it up. I'm starting to. Well, the first two shelves are purses because that's a must. I read 13 books in the year of 2025. Definitely a year that we could say was a reading slump. I was also a full-time student and a full-time worker, but that is no excuse. This is the year of no excuses. This is the year of reading and enjoying what we're reading. Honestly though, looking back at my 13 reads, I picked well. There's none that I completely hated. There's none that I actually hated, period, point blank. I enjoyed all of them, more so than others. Unfortunately, I don't have a stack of books to show you. All of them are back home in Florida. My collection is starting from scratch. Alright, so we can start off with 2025's most anticipated release, which was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Onyx Storm, obviously, I love the Empyrean series. I loved Fourth Wing. It was great. It was an honor to read it. Let's just say that. Iron Flame, I had fun reading it. I actually did pretty much enjoy it for the most part. I didn't have any gripes with it. Onyx Storm, on the other hand, I enjoyed. I still rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. That being said, since it is the third book in the installment, the ending absolutely crushed me. I completely enjoyed the ending, that's for sure, like the last half of the book. The first half, I really didn't know what we were doing. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what we're doing there. Rebecca, I think that's an overall consensus, though. I could definitely understand the hate towards the book, but I wouldn't completely discard it off your to read just because I still enjoyed it. There's still a lot of people that definitely enjoyed Onyx Storm. It was amazing. The ending will absolutely just stab you in the heart, and I cannot wait for the fourth book. That is like an immediate buy and immediately pre-purchase the second she says the release date. Book number 2 that I read is Heartless Hunter. It is part of the Crimson Moth series, or it's called Crimson Moth. It just depends on what country you're in, because I know the titles are kind of like interlinked per se. But yeah, Heartless Hunter. Absolutely loved it. It's the definition of enemies to lovers. It is literally witch hunter, cat and mouse, and the fun part about it is you do not know who is the mouse and who is the cat in certain scenarios. Like, it will switch from book to book. It can switch middle through the book. It can switch. Like, I'm literally getting like shivers just thinking about this book. This book was so much fun. I rated it a 4.5 out of 5. You know, it was a romantasy more than an actual fantasy, so there's definitely some plot holes that I had issues with, but overall I loved it. So almost 5 stars. Amazing, must read. It's only a duology. I love duologies just because they're nice and easy. That obviously means that the third book I read was Rebel Witch, was book 2 of the Crimson Moth series. Honestly, the way that they made the ending of Heartless Hunter lines up Rebel Witch very perfectly. Like, it makes sense. They're still enemies to lovers. Like, a lot of times your enemies to lovers is book 1 and book 2 is just like the resolution of what's actually going on in the fantasy world. They're still becoming enemies to lovers, or, you know, I'm not going to spoil too much, but Rebel Witch was very much fun read. It did end up being a 4 out of 5 stars just because it wasn't as good as Heartless Hunter, but I still definitely enjoyed it. It's still like, if you have not read the series, get up, read it. I believe it's on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have a Kindle, it's for you. Like, you have no excuse. Read. The fourth book that I ended up reading in 2025 was The 7-Year Slip. After, like, you know, 3 books of fantasy side by side, I need a little cleansing palette. It did not cleanse my palette. It cleansed my soul, and it broke my heart in a million ways. 7-Year Slip is like an urban-y magical realism per se. Just read it. Just read it. I read this on a plane ride for the first time, like the entire thing. I was audiobooking it while reading it, so I was like immersive reading it. and there's the person right next to me because I was playing solo, and I'm just like crying. And like, I know they knew I was crying, they didn't say anything, but that was embarrassing. But it was amazing. I literally had to take a break, go to the bathroom, and be like, oh, okay. If anybody has like ever experienced grief, which I think everybody has experienced grief to a certain degree, it's a very nice book. The romance is also very nice. The magical aspects of it are very nice. I rated it a 4 out of 5 star, which amazing. Like for me, a 4 out of 5 stars literally like go read it immediately. I don't even know what a 5 out of 5 star is. Like a 5 out of 5 star has to be like a Throne of Glass, like Kingdom of Bash, like Queen of Shadows. I'ma shut up. So book 5 that I read was The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This is obviously part of the Hunger Games like saga. I guess it's a prequel per se to the Hunger Games of what we know it as the original trilogy. President Snow's book on like his basically his uprising, on how he came to be President Snow. The reason I picked it up and read it, I actually did not read it when it came out originally. Like I wasn't like enticed to do it, but when the movie comes out, you damn well know I need to read the book before I watch the movie. So I read the book and then I watched the movie. When I read the book, I originally scored it at 3.5 out of stars just because off of the movie trailer it makes it seem more like a romance. I knew nothing about his background, to be honest. I came into it really blind. I didn't even read the back of the book. I literally just watched the trailer for The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the movie, and then went right into the book. And I thought I was more going to be on the romance side, not meaning that a book can't be good if it's not on the more romance side, but I went into thinking that, and I went into it with the wrong headspace, because now if I were to sit back and like think about the book, and then especially now after seeing the movie, there's like a lot more to it in my opinion. It literally plays on nature versus nurture, which is very like thought-provoking in the sense of, are people born bad? What pushes a person to become a bad person? Are people innately violent? I think if I were to sit down and do another reread, I'd be like, I'm picking that up again. But I will not, because Sunrise on the Reaping is out and I have yet to read it, and it's becoming a movie, so I need to read it. Book 6 of the year was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. Rebecca! I absolutely loved Divine Rivals. War times, back in the days, magical typewriters. I absolutely loved her writing. Her writing was very romantic. It's just two people writing letters to each other through magical typewriters, and they don't know who they're writing to. Turns out they do know each other in real life. They just don't know that yet. One does, one doesn't. It's this whole thing. I literally gave it a 5 out of 5. That was beautiful. That book made me cry. You just have to read it. If I love Divine Rivals that much, I went right into Ruthless Vows. Again, it's a duology. Duologies are amazing. This one I did rate a 4 out of 5 just because I didn't love as much as the Divine Rivals. Yes, the romance was in it, but it wasn't as much as I needed to give. But then again, I do understand why I needed to take a bit of a back burner and the plot needed to go up, but I did not think the plot was as important. Like for example, our villain, I don't know what's going on with the villain. I don't know if I liked him or I did not like him. I wish I got that explained more. So the way that everything wrapped up was cool. It was pretty epic, but I didn't absolutely love it. Book 8 will officially mark me starting to live in the UK and having more time to read on my hands. This also means that I have the physical copies of the next book that I'm going to talk to you about, which is The Powerless Trilogy by Lauren Roberts. I hear a lot about this book, and listen, I can understand how it may not be the most original book. It might not be the most hard to read book, but sometimes you don't need that. You know, sometimes you need a concoction of good ideas put into one and you'll enjoy it. Girl, no power. Where she live, everyone have power. If people find out she have no power, she gonna get killed. All of a sudden, they think she cool. And they go and put her to showcase power. Now how, you may ask, how? She fakes being a psychic. That's all I'm gonna say. There's trials, there's romance, there's a love triangle that's not really a love triangle. Be honest, if you ever thought there was a love triangle in this, You're lying to yourself. You're lying. There was not really a love triangle going on. Powerless was amazing. I rated it a 4.5 out of 5. I immediately went into Powerful. Which, let me tell you, this is a 5 out of 5. This is a novella. This is the novella. This is technically book 1.5. And it revolves around a character in Powerless. And I can't talk much. I can't talk much about it because anything that I would tell you would be a complete spoiler to what goes on in Powerless. Don't read the back of Powerful before you read the entirety of Powerless. Please, I beg of you. I accidentally read the back of this book and I was like, oh, how nice. And then I finished Powerless and I went, oh, okay. This is what we're gonna read. I went right into book 2, which is Reckless. Reckless, on the other hand, I still enjoyed. I had a great time with it. I scored a 4 to 5. It was a fun read. It was definitely a fun read, and the ending is just like jaw on the floor dropped. Like, what do you mean? I was not expecting that at all whatsoever. But I had fun. It was a bit on the more repetitive side. They always say that the middle book is always the worst, which I could kind of agree. Like, out of the main 3, like if you were to take the novellas out of the main 3, this is the worst. But it was still fun. If you love Guy, you're gonna have fun regardless, as long as he's in it. So, and I do love Guy, so I'm having fun regardless. The next book of the series is Fearless, which I rated a 5 out of 5. This book may have issues. People may have issues with what they did to certain characters in the book, but it was amazing. And when I tell you I cried not once, not twice, but like 3 times. I'm not an easy crier. Fearless is technically the 3rd and last book of the actual main trilogy. After that would be the novella, which would be Fearful. Not a lot of people had many nice things to say about it, and I kind of don't either. Fearful is a 2.5 star. I'm sorry. I would recommend reading it if you've already read the entire like series. You might as well, just because you do get a little bit more lore, because clearly if you're gonna plan on reading any more of Lauren Roberts' books that are potentially gonna come out in the future within the same universe, then there's kind of important information in it. A lot of effort on kind of. You could honestly search up a summary of this book and you'll be just fine. Honestly, this book could have been an extra blurb at the end of Fearless, because at most you needed like 1 or 2 scenes from that for you to understand what's going on. At most. A final book, after so much fantasy, I needed a break, so I decided I wanted to give myself a romance. And when I think romance, I think of a very popular author, Miss Emily Henry. I decided to go with Happy Place. I only ever read 1 Emily Henry book, and that was Beach Read, and it was immemorable. I was nervous just because I know some people love Emily Henry, some people don't. I did really like the premise of the second chance romance when it comes to Happy Place. I rated a 3.75. Now, for a romance, that's pretty high to me. I would 100% still recommend it to people that if they enjoy the romance genre, just romance genre, then they will love this even more than I will, just because I'm more of a fantasy girly. It was a beautiful book in the sense where it wasn't just romance, not just romantic relationships, but friendships. It was very beautiful seeing the friendships. It was a very nice transition thinking about it. It did make me tear up once or twice throughout the book. Long distance bestie here. I don't live where I used to live anymore, so I have my best friends back home. And it was honestly a great way to end off the year, just because it was feel good, didn't end off on a cliffhanger, it was a solo, and then I could start fresh for the new year. So we're gonna start doing reading vlogs and all that fun stuff. If you like my yapping, because this is what it is, being a certified yapper, and I'm gonna keep yapping about these books, then please, please, please feel free to subscribe. Comment down below any recommendations on anything that I must read. I have a long list of a mental TBR in my head. My physical one might not be long, but trust me, I'm working on making it longer. I'm being the problem. But yeah, thank you guys. Like and subscribe. Bye!